Madam President, there are 12 million people in the United States who faced a cancer diagnosis today. Many have fought back against this terrible disease and won. Others are still fighting. And each one of them knows how difficult a cancer diagnosis can be. But imagine coming to terms with your diagnosis only to find out the life-saving drug you need to survive is in short supply or simply not available. I wish this were make-believe, but it's not. It's real America. That, Madam President, is a situation faced by many Americans battling cancer and other life-threatening illnesses. Through 20 weeks of chemotherapy, Landra and I, my wife, lived with the fear that the medicine she needed every Monday morning wouldn't be there because there were shortages. But fortunately for us, the drug was always accessible. Many Americans haven't been so fortunate. One Nevadan fighting bladder cancer was near the end of treatment when the medicine he was taking suddenly ran short. Now, Madam President, only time will tell whether the alternative treatment that he received was enough to save his life. Another Nevada woman with bowel cancer was forced to choose a less effective chemotherapy treatment because the best drug on the market, one that cures bowel cancer in 75% of the cases, wasn't available. Only time will tell whether the second choice medicine was effective. Yet another Nevada man was relying on 2 cancer drugs to keep him alive longer and give him greater quality of life. But one drug was in short supply. Since drugs only work when taken together, doctors have been able to treat him intermittently. That isn't good. So only time will tell how many days or weeks or months or years he lost because he couldn't get the drug he needed. Every day these stories play out in hospitals across our country. Every day Americans experience shortages of life-saving, FDA-approved drugs and treatments. These shortages literally put Americans at risk. And as the number of shortages increases each year, more patients are forced to wait for treatment and worry. In the last 6 years, drug shortages have quadrupled. Last year, FDA reported shortage of 231 drugs, including many chemotherapy medicines. That's 231 drugs. How many tens of thousands of people did that affect? Public pressure has prompted some drug makers to voluntarily notify the FDA of impending shortages. But Congress must step in to improve communication between drug makers, the FDA, and doctors. Doctors who have to break the terrible news that life-saving medicines aren't available. Voluntary cooperation between drug makers and the FDA prevented almost 200 drug shortages last year. But establishing effective lines of communication could further reduce the number of shortages and save patients' lives. So I'm pleased the spirit of bipartisanship begun by my colleagues, Senator Harkin and Enzi, continued yesterday. I look forward to an orderly amendment process, and I'm optimistic that the Senate will move this legislation without unnecessary delays. I hope, Madam President, I'm not disappointed. Each year, more than 1.5 million Americans are diagnosed with some form of cancer. It's up to us to ensure not one of them waits and wonders if the medicine he or she needs to stay alive will be there when the need arises.